This recording is about a 40 years old male, what is available and how much would the person pay if the person is looking for life insurance, trauma and TPD. I'm using a quote monster, as you can see. I'm using quote monster in order to demonstrate how much would someone who is 40 years old, male, lives in New Zealand, would pay for life insurance of $500,000, linked total and permanent disability cover, and linked trauma cover. So first of all, we have to type up a name. Let's think that's going to be someone with the name of John Smith. John Smith. John Smith is a male, non-smoker, and he is, let's say he was born on 1st of September 1973. So this person was born on 1st of September 1973. The person is 40 years old. His occupation, let's say he is someone with trade skills. He is an electrician or he is a plumber. He is employed, and let's say we are not using any partners or any children. As I've mentioned before, this is a system which I'm using. This is online, available in New Zealand, Quote Monster. This tool allows me as a financial advisor to come up with the best options for my clients. And let's say in this case, we know that yes, we want him to be insured, John. We want him to have life cover of $500,000. We want him to have a total and permanent disability. This cover would pay him money if he is totally and permanently disabled. This amount of money here I'm using $250,000. The reason I believe $250,000 is probably not enough for this person, based on if this person has got a mortgage for let's say $400,000, so $250,000 would not really make a big difference, meaning that the person will still owe the money to the bank. And as you know, banks, they do not take prisoners. We are using own occupation because we want to make sure that the person is going to get the money and the insurance company going to see him as someone who will definitely receive the money in the event that person is on claim. Here we are using accelerated, and we are going to add an additional amount of money, which is $100,000 trauma. We are using this to provide cover to the person if, let's say, the person is, let's say, diagnosed with cancer or stroke or heart attack, major, something really extremely major. We want to know that, let's say, yes, this person is going to be provided with monthly premiums, and right now our system allows us to check all the insurance companies. In order for us to make sure that we are using all of them, we go with life and we go with click all, deliberately showing that to you in order for me to make sure that you guys know that being made on the time of that recording. We want to attach our report. And we go back in order for me to show that, let's say, yes, we go back, and I just want to show you that, yes, we are using all the insurance companies available in New Zealand, apart from those ones which do not have financial ratings, or they simply choose not to participate in a tool like this one. As I mentioned to you before, this is extremely useful tool, and if, let's say, your financial advisor does not use it or is not capable of showing something like this, you really have to question why this guy is doing what he's doing. For my work, I use two different tools, two different rating houses. That's how they called in insurance industry in New Zealand. One is Quote Monster, the one you are seeing right now, and the second one is a Risk Research. So Quote Monster is a bit more visual, so it's a lot more simplistic, and from my perspective, it's just a lot easier to understand, or what's kind of really capable of doing. And the other one is a Risk Researcher. As you can see, those all insurance companies popped up. As I mentioned to you before, our guy is 40 years old. He's an electrician. And what we are trying to achieve is just to make sure that, let's say, we are going to provide this person with the best possible insurance policy. And we are basically constructing it. We are using all. And right now what you are seeing is, from my perspective, this is extremely important. Because as you can see, there is AIA, and we are talking about this is a life cover. So you should really ask yourself a question. How can you have, let's say, if in New Zealand life cover is paid either when person is dead, or if it is a reputable company, then when the person is diagnosed with terminal illness. So as you can see, AIA 98%, AMP 96%, ANZ 92%, ASB 96%, Astron 98%, AMP 93%, AMP RPP, BNZ 92%, Cigna 93%, Fidelity Life is 100%. So that's what we've got, and this is live. Now let's have a look what is here for. So in this case we are using fidelity, because as you could see, most likely that's due to the reason that, let's have a look on a report. So while that's done loading, I will explain. I think the reason why it didn't let me to choose the insurer was simply based on the number of limitations I've chosen. What I've done, if you remember, I decided that the person is going to have insurance for $500,000, total permanent disability for $250,000, and $100,000 trauma. In this case, that's what I'm assuming, the system that didn't allow us to choose a particular insurer only, it was based on total permanent disability. Most likely. So this is our report, insurance quote report, John Smith. So we know that, let's say, that's me who prepared this. We know that for this particular report we are using these insurance companies, even though we've seen that it was, let's say, I've ticked all of them. This is the most important part, as you can see, and I'll make it a bit bigger in order for us to be able to discuss it. As we were talking before, AMP 96%, AA 98%, ANZ 92%, and let's see who is the lower, CIG. CIG is most likely Cigna, so it's 93%, and yes, by the way, BNZ is 92%. So congratulations to all of you who have life insurance with BNZ. That's definitely something you would want to reconsider. Next point is trauma. What is quite important here to see is, let's compare. Kiwi Bank 49%. BNZ 61%, ASB 83, ASB 83, yes, and ANZ is 63. As you can see here, and I'm going to attach this report to the video, cancer critical. So that's where you definitely have to ask yourself a question. If you have a Kiwi Bank policy, would you actually be able to get the money on the day when, let's say, something goes wrong and you are diagnosed with cancer? With a heart attack, that's actually quite good, because if you can see that, let's say, only ASB has got the lowest ratings, which is 884. Again, congratulations for all of you who have ASB trauma policy, 8.84, and the highest being AMP 16%, right? AMP, yes, 1604, and the next one is Fidelity, which is 1637. So I guess if we are talking about the best cover for trauma, that would be AMP either or Fidelity. And on the top, as you can see here, those percentages, they simply show you the good policy or the bad policy is. It also has financial stability ratings. And I think that's extremely important, and that's what majority of people don't really consider when they think about insurance, because majority of us, when we think about insurance, we go with the premiums. And premiums is not what shows you the best possible cover. As you can see, majority of insurance companies here has got A something, and let's say smaller, so how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 have got AA minus, or yes, AA minus. That would be the topest one. And as you can see, that would be AIA, AMP, ANZ. ASB has got a bit lower financial ratings. Astron has got a bit lower financial ratings. AMP, well, yes, that we've just discussed. And the next one is OnePass. So this is a trauma continuum, and this is total permanent disability. And that's what exactly limited us. You remember I've told you that I want the guy to be insured with total permanent disability own occupation. Please read my blog, and I will explain that. Realistically, I guess what it means, that let's say if our Sparky does not have an option to perform his duty, he is not going to be basically re-educated to become, let's say, a cleaner. So, and again, that's what is quite important. So let's say from total and permanent disability point of view, and mind you, total and permanent disability in New Zealand would pay out in the event that the person cannot perform 2 out of 5 daily activities. And in this case, Astron is clearly a leader, following by OnePass, ASB, AIA and AMP. I'm going to attach this report. Someone who is 40 years old in New Zealand has got 9% of chances being dead. And if you are married, the chances do increase. And if you have got a business partner who is 40 years old, the chances that the business partner should be protected at 31%. So that's quite entertaining, and I think it was extremely helpful. So please give me a call if you have any questions. It was Vlad Ivanov, and thank you for watching.